I ruined my TikTok account. My TikTok has over 310,000 followers, and there are so many massive mistakes that I made with this account, and now I'm really having to go back to the basics to reactivate and get this account to actually continue to grow because for quite some time I've just been letting it sit and it's just been losing followers rather than gaining them. The first thing that I did that was a big mistake was going on a little hiatus and not posting on this TikTok account very consistently for about a year, maybe even more than that. I was posting sporadically here and there, but I was not responding to comments. I was not using this account really. It was just sitting there. And I was working on growing our company account. There was no growth or posting or intentionality when it came to that account. What I've seen since not posting, not being consistent, not being intentional is number one, a massive drop in engagement. Number two, the videos that used to do well, when I do put them up, they really don't. And so it seems as though TikTok has kind of categorized this as an inactive account, even though there is the occasional video going up. What I'm having to do is we're posting multiple times a day on that account. I'm going live consistently and making sure that I'm responding to every single comment, making sure that I'm engaging on other people's accounts, and really doing just the absolute most to let TikTok know that this is an active account, it's an active user, there's somebody there that is manning this account, and it's not just dormant like it was. The second big mistake that I made with this account that really drove down the engagement, really drove down the follower count, and just overall the reach of this account was creating content that was too sophisticated for the audience that I had there. I had really curated an audience of people who were kind of just at the beginning of their financial freedom slash starting a business journey. And what I began doing because of where my mindset was around growing our company account was I was posting content that was way too advanced, way too jargony, and way too high level for the users that were on that account consuming that content. So because I was posting content that was just like super over their head, that was way too advanced and really wasn't speaking to their current reality at all, it really caused the account to take a massive hit in terms of views, reach, engagement, watch time, everything, simply because it really wasn't aligned with the people that were consuming and had already been drawn to that account. The next mistake I made was not filtering comments and also going out of my way to post content that was not going to be controversial or stir up any feelings from the audience. And it's funny because this is like a core pillar of what we teach. And I know that if you want to be successful on social media, you really have to take a stand for something and not be afraid to be a leader and be outspoken when it comes to what you believe in, your strategies, your frameworks, and why you do things the way you do for your clients. And even though I knew that, I let some of the comments get to me. And so I stopped posting content that was controversial at all, things that people could take the wrong way or really have any kind of emotion about. And in doing that, I allowed the engagement and growth of the account to really flatline because whether it's a positive or negative, people comment, people engage, people share, people save videos because it triggers some sort of an emotional response, good or bad. So in creating content that didn't do any of those things, it really caused the account to plummet. The other thing I mentioned was not filtering comments. I would definitely recommend going in, and if there's certain things that you don't want to see or certain things that bother you, filter those keywords and filter those comments. Nobody has the right to share their opinions on your account. It's your platform that you have built, you're in control, your platform, your rules. I would highly recommend going in and filtering out those comments so that it doesn't work its way into your head. And even if the comments don't like deeply affect you emotionally, they can still kind of like for me, they kind of live in the back of my mind when I'm creating content. So I'm like, oh, I could phrase this a different way that people don't hate on it, or I could soften what I'm trying to say here and really water down my opinion. It was not necessarily about the comments getting to you in a deeply emotional way, because that's not the case. But you want those comments not to be in your head, that you can create in an authentic way rather than allowing those voices to determine what you create. You don't want to create for your haters. You want to create for the people that enjoy your content and block out everyone else. Mistake number 4 that I really made with the content on this account was redundancy. With trying to really soften what I was saying and soften my opinions and water those down, I really started creating and posting content that felt super redundant. What I mean by that is in every single video, I would repeat myself like 6 different times in a bunch of different ways, trying to just get my point across so that nobody was upset. So what that resulted in was longer form content that wasn't performing well on the app, and longer form content that didn't actually speak to what people needed, what they were going through, and what I was actually trying to say. The content was just super watered down. It wasn't authentic to me or my brand. And ultimately, because I was just repeating myself in every single video, the watch time dropped, which caused the reach of the videos to plummet. Mistake number 5 was to really just try to set it and forget it. Because I had figured out what did work really well for my audience and what topics they were super interested in, I stopped kind of taking that feedback and really creating for them, and just kind of went on to autopilot with the things that I knew worked and just spewing those out over and over and over again, and then not going in and engaging with the comments, looking at what people were saying, really catering my content to the questions that they were asking and what people needed. Instead, I was just kind of taking what had worked at one time and dumping that out onto the platform, hoping for the best. And the thing with social media, especially with TikTok, is that you really have to be constantly learning and adapting and ensuring that you have your ear to the ground when it comes to understanding what your audience wants. Again, not to say that you should be listening to what the haters are saying, but to the people that support you and enjoy your content, you should be listening to everything that they have to say and curating your content in a way that's going to be beneficial to them. And in not doing that, again, I really caused the reach and visibility of this account to spiral downwards. There's obviously a lot more that I'm doing to kind of reactivate this account, but these are kind of like the top things that I did wrong. And I just want you to know that even if your account growth feels stagnant and you see yourself making a lot of these mistakes, there's definitely so much space for you to turn around. Even if you haven't gained a single follower in over a year, there is still so much potential for your growth for your account on that platform. So go back to the drawing board, do some market research, and really understand what your audience needs from you. And go back to the basics of what works really well for you and what you're known for, rather than trying to, like I said, water down your content so that you don't get any negative opinions.